to say that my relationship with China began through my love of Chinese poetry, which began through my love of one specific poem by Li Bai, or Li Po, as you may know him, who was born in 701 and died in 762. Anyway, so here's a poem by me, which is a love poem to this poem, called The River Merchant's Wife. Back when I first fell in love with Chinese poetry and believed my love for my girlfriend would last beyond death, I read The River Merchant's Wife, a poem so touching it made me want to learn Chinese, to be able to say so simply some crushing truth about time and change. My girlfriend was leaving for college in Ohio, a long trip down a river that flowed one way, while I had to stay at home to grow sad as the monkeys made sorrowful noises overhead in the jungle of my adolescence. Sad, but not wise enough to be plain-spoken, nor as uncomplaining as the river merchant's wife, translated from a language of single syllables, though the single syllable of love, as I understood it back then, was stuck in my head like a tiny brass bell playing its solo in my stupefied mind. Now perhaps it seems a bit mad, her desire to mix her ashes with another's forever and forever and forever. But I still know the feeling, the disbelief all over again at the thought of parting, from my wife, I mean, she whom I would gladly go out to meet, as far as Kofusa. The Grand Valleys can't match her hair in his eyes, and a day spent lying near each other at the pool, or the simplest raspberry cool she shares with him, vies with the Sound of Music meadow, or the jewel of all towns, Roche-Baudin, with buildings so old they're wavy, set against hills that recede to silver, fold after fold.
And we returned the end of May, so I started these paintings in June, and I finished in December, January. I knew that I thought that it was so otherworldly that I was going to paint. First, you make a bow to the landscape, and then you wait. And if the landscape bows back to you, then and only then can you paint the landscape. By John Marin, the painter. I would suggest as an exercise that sometime you take your two eyes along with you and leave your intellect at home. You might, with this handicap, see things that would surprise you. Art is not what you see, but what you make others see. And so on the back of each of these paintings, this was done in the little town of Macerata in Italy when we were visiting our former babysitter. And then David Hockney said, perspective is only a theoretical abstraction. It is not true to life, no matter what we say. Perspective depends on a fixed point, but if you try to walk to that point, you will never get there. It's like the end of a rainbow. And then Picasso again said, painting is just another way of keeping a diary. And these are very much a diary. And then Colette, the French writer, said, you will do foolish things, but do them with enthusiasm.